name's Arnie. I'm 29. I come from Melbourne. My parents are originally from Mauritius, and I grew up there before we moved to Melbourne. My family was a Catholic family. Faith was always part of our life. I went to Mass every Saturday night with my parents, and as I grew up, this became a little less relevant for me. I knew about God. I knew going to Mass was important, and that's what my parents had told me. I even had my taste of community life, being in a Catholic community, when my parents were involved in a marriage prep course, and I used to play with all the other young kids. But as I went to high school, and I had experienced a little bit of bullying, and I experienced a lot of what the world was telling me. Faith became less and less relevant to me, to the point that I didn't want to go to Mass anymore. But even then, my parents dragged me to a youth group. I was part of a youth group for a few years in my parish. That was great. I learnt a lot, made a lot of good friends. And as I kept going, finished high school, went to university, faith was relevant, but I didn't really know God. I didn't know who He was. I didn't know what He could do in my life. I didn't know about God's love. I went to university and I sought attention, and I sought things like partying and being recognized. One day I attended a course called the Alpha course, which was happening in my church. We went away for one weekend, and that weekend was all about the Holy Spirit. I learned a lot about the fruits and the gifts of the Holy Spirit. And throughout that weekend, I experienced something called prayer teams. And it was two people that laid their hands on me and they prayed for the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. And at the time, I just thought it was something good to do. I had experienced prayer, but not really like that. I just did it. My friends were doing it. That's why I was there with some of the young adults. And I was prayed over. And at that moment is when I felt the Holy Spirit in my life for the first time. In that moment, I came to understand that God was real. He wasn't just this person in the sky. He was relevant. He wanted a relationship with me. He wanted to show me His love. And from that moment, I came to understand that Jesus was there with me. He wanted that for me to know His love for me. And that was a big change for me. I got so much out of that weekend, and I came home changed. And from there, my life took a new course. I decided to give up a lot of my ways, a lot of my habits, the ways in which I treated people, seeking success first. Wanted to be seen, be recognized, be the leader. And I understood leadership in a whole new different way. Leadership was service, and if I wanted to lead, I would lead like Jesus did, and I would receive His love first and give that love to other people. And I decided that I wanted to live life for Him, and I wanted to do the things He wanted me to do, and that I would follow Him and not follow my own plans. So I want to invite you today, if you haven't really considered life with Jesus, you haven't wanted to invite God into your life, I really encourage you to do it. It's transformed my life, it's transformed a lot of people's lives around me, and it's given me a life of joy. I invite you today to consider giving your life to Jesus and following Him. He knows what's best for you, and I'm sure He's got a great life planned out for you as well.
A lot of talk in our church today about the new evangelisation, and we might ask, well, what's new about the new evangelisation? One thing that's new is that we're trying to renew the faith in people who should already be Catholic, should already be Christian. Individuals, families, communities, whole cultures that need to rediscover the gospel. And so what's new is that they're getting a new shot in the arm of faith, of evangelisation. Another thing that's new about it is the way that we do that, and the new media and groups like Shalom World TV are very important for bringing the gospel anew to our cultures, to our families, to each of us individually. And so I encourage all the viewers of Shalom World TV, and I encourage Shalom World TV themselves to keep up the good work, to keep watching this channel and to keep up the good work of presenting the Catholic faith to our world today.
Shalom World, God's own channel.